Bypassing the app grid. The iOS 27 beta is bypassing traditional application interfaces, executing complex user intents directly through backend APIs without ever drawing a screen. When you ask the new Siri AI to build a device automation, it doesn't string together predefined Apple shortcuts. Instead, a quantized local language model dynamically writes and executes state manipulation scripts in real time. But analyzing the memory utilization logs reveals exactly where this on-device execution fractures. The memory context wall, the core mechanism driving these automations, relies on a technique called semantic state routing. Previously, Siri required exact hard-coded hooks provided by developers. Now the on-device model parses your natural language request, maps it against a continuously updating vector database of device states, and synthesizes the required API calls itself. If you tell it to cross-reference a newly received PDF with your calendar and draft an email to the sender, the system completes the loop locally. But there is a hard physical limit. Apple capped the execution context to a strict memory boundary to prevent the model from draining the battery. When an automation requires pulling data from more than 3 separate non-native applications simultaneously, the on-device model routinely dumps the oldest context. Proponents argue this aggressive memory management keeps the local model highly secure and private. But the result isn't a graceful degradation. In benchmark testing, exceeding this memory threshold caused a complete task failure in 14% of attempts. And the way Apple handles these dropped contexts reveals a broader structural shift. The signal under the noise. The shift toward dynamic state routing proves Apple is treating the operating system as a unified autonomous agent, even as physical memory constraints currently bottleneck its reliability. By routing user requests directly to APIs and actively skipping the graphical interface, iOS 27 is severing the visual relationship between users and third-party software. This is a structural change to mobile economics. The dedicated screen time that developers rely on for ad revenue, engagement metrics, and brand retention evaporates when the system executes tasks invisibly in the background. If a local model can order food, book flights, and draft responses without the user ever opening the host application, the traditional interface-driven app ecosystem fractures entirely. The concrete indicator to watch over the next 3 months of this beta cycle is developer adoption of these new agentic hooks. If major application makers refuse to expose their APIs to protect their ad impressions, Apple will face a massive standoff over who actually controls device routing. Subscribe for more